Anisha Queen.
Good evening, Dhamma friends. In our OPRC class, welcome back after our Vesak celebration class. And I hope that you must have had a very interesting Vesak ceremony in your places with lots of uh, uh, Dhamma thoughts, Vesak thoughts. So we are now going to start off day 83 of our OPRC class. And today we'll be discussing about Dhammapada verse 61. So before we get started, shall we pay respect to the Buddha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. We just started discussing about the unwise people. Remember, that was the day before that was the Thursday before Vesak celebration. And that means we started discussing Dhammapada's Balavaka. This Balavaka is very interesting. The Pali word Bala has many meanings. Uh, One is what you call, I would say, young ones, young people. But the way how it is used, it's being used, people might understand or misunderstand. See, Bala. Another the famous meaning that we understand, the popular meaning is unwise people. And there's another Pali word called Balaka. Balaka, not Bala. Balaka means crane. Remember in the Theravada, some arahants, uh, when they, in the evening, they go to certain lakes and they see how cranes are, uh, you know, uh, I would say, taking off and how they are landing. So when they are alighting or maybe taking off, the way how they were beautifully departing those lake areas, river areas were captured in their Pali terms called Yada Balaka. Balaka means cranes. So in this way, this Pali word Bala has a couple of meanings. The popular meaning is unwise people, and you can also say young people. Remember, there is a stanza somewhere, I can't remember exactly the place. Daharaja Mahantaja, Ebala Yeja Pandita, Sabbe Machu Vasanyanti, Sabbe Machu Parayano. Or everybody is going to die. So in that sense, we understand unwise too. So today, let's start with the second stanza, continue the second stanza of the Dhammapada's Balavak. So our purpose plan here is um, not to have a bad understanding about Bala. We want to learn from them. The more we learn about the Bala, the better we are in our relationships, right? We don't have to blame anybody because everyone is different. Sometimes they don't want to be Bala too. If they are Balas, they don't want to be Bala too, but they don't know how to get out of this Bala stage. So we have to bring up compassion for that. So that's why we want to learn to check whether we are Bala or the people surrounding us are Bala too. Or maybe there is someone who is going to become a Bala. So there are many ways to look at it. Let's take a look at the stanza now. Dhammapada 61. We go back to our Pali reading today. So let me read. Charang che nadhi gaccheya seyang sadisamattano ekacharyang dalhang khaira natti bali sahayata. Charang che nadhi gaccheya seyang sadisamattano ekacharyang dalhang khaira natti bali sahayata. So we will ask our groups to read. So first of all, someone from group 1 who would like to read from group 1.
Paduma, Bhante.
Yes, please, Padma, any.
Nadigacheya seyang sadisam atanno. Eka charyam dalham khaira natibale sahayata.
Okay, great. And group 2.
Okay, Bhante.
You can raise the virtual hand here. There's a button to raise. You want to read. Someone from group 2? Yes, Maywood, please.
Charang che nadi gacheya seyam sadi samatano eka charyam dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Group 3. Yes, Lisa, please go ahead.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Charan che natiga cheya seyam sadisamatano eka charyam dalham kayira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group 4. Yes, oh, let's go ahead.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Charang che nadi gachea seyang sadisama tano eka chariyang dalham kaira nati bale sahayata.
Great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group 5. Yes, Melinda, let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Charam chil nadi kacheya, seyam sadis samatano, eka chariyam daham kaira, nati bale sahayata. Thank you, Bhante. Sahayata. Thank you, Bhante.
And group 6. Yes, TC, please.
Thank you. Charancha nahi gacheya sayang sadisamatano ikacharyang dahang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Great.
Thank you.
7. Yes, Hema, please.
Bhante, thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Charan che nadiga cheya seyan sadisa matano eka chariyam daham kaira nate bale sahayata. Sadhu. Thank you. Thank you.
And last group, group 8. Someone from group 8. If not, maybe, oh, group 8. I don't understand. I can't see your name, perhaps. Yeah, are you from group 8? Yeah, because you haven't renamed your name. Your name is iPhone. All right, if you want to read, please go ahead. Yes. Yes, please go ahead.
Sorry, I can't
Oh,
get. Sorry,
it's
sorry.
you. Okay. Yes. Perhaps I will help you. Yeah. You should be Sean Paklan, right?
Yeah, that's right. I can't get it. Okay.
Yeah, let me help you. Right. I think you should be okay now. Okay, great. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Charanche nadiga cheya seyam sadi samatano eka chariam dalham kayira nati bale sahayati yata.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. And we will start with Sumana. Please, Sumana, Shirley, and then Pauline. Yes.
Charang che nadiga cheya seyang sadi samatano eka chariyang dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great. And then Pauline, please.
Kihotu Bhante.
Yes.
Charang cha nadi gaccheya seyang sadi samatano. Ika chariyang dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And maybe asking from Kim, please.
You Bhante.
Yes.
Charang che nadi gacheya seyang sadi samatano. Eka chariyang dalham kayira nati bale sahayata.
Great. And Ochurwa, please.
Good evening. Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Char nadi kacheya seyam sadi samatano ekacharian dalham kayira nati bale sahayata.
Great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Sari.
Sukihotu Bhante.
Sukihoto. Yeah, second.
Charang che nadi gaccheya seyam sadi samatano. Eka chariyang dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Aliana, let's go ahead. Aliana, please.
Charancha nadi gacheya seyang sadi samatano eka chariyang dalhang kayira nati bale sahayata.
Right. And 9 changes.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Charanche nadiga cheya seyang sadi samatano. Eka chariyang dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
And
Bhante.
Jenny.
Yeah. Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Charang che nadi gacheya seyang sadi samatano. Eka chariyang dalhang kayira nati bale sahayata.
Great.
Thank you.
Suzanne. Yes, Suzanne.
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Charanche nadhigachaya seyam sadisamatano ekachariyam dalham kayira natibale sahayata.
Great.
Thank
And
you.
Sinfong, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Charam cha nadi gachaya sayam sadi samatano ikachariyam daham kaira nati bale sahayata.
Great. And Meli, please.
Bhante.
Yes.
Charanche nadiga cheya seyang sadi samatano. Ika chariyang dalham kayira nati bale sahayata.
Great. And
Bhante.
Margaret, yes.
Evening, Bhante.
Good evening. Yes.
Charang che nadi gacheya, seyam sadi sa matano, eka chariyam dalham kaira, nati bale sahayata.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Anyone else who would like to read? Yes, Chupeng, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Charang che ngadi gacheya, seyang sadi samatano, eka chariyang dahang kaira, nati bale sahayata.
Great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay, so then we will go into the stanza. Charang che nadi gacheya seyang savisamantano ekacharyang dalhang kaira nati bale sahayata. So let's figure out certain Pali words over here to understand the meaning. Charang. Charang here we are. What is charang actually? Charang means? What's the meaning of the literal meaning of charang? Charang means?
Walk.
We can say chankamana, maybe we can say behave. Now we understand in the Vinaya, I would say the discipline part, there is a definition called what is sila actually. What sila that we have to really care for, I mean our discipline, and what is the sila that we have to avoid. So there are two parts. So we call it charitabbang charitam, vajjetabbang varitam. That means charita sila and varita sila. That means the sila that we have to practice and the sila that we have to avoid. So there are bad sila, wrong sila that we should not practice. I think you know this in your own understanding under the sila bata paramas. That sila is not a good sila. So we have to treat it as vajjetabba sila. That means sila is not a morally a positive one all the time. Sila is a morally neutral word, and we understand the sila, discipline or precepts, we call sikha, depending on the context. So here, chara means walking, but this walking is not the literal walking. This walking means walking on our journey, our life journey in particular. And you can also say that spiritual journey, so life journey. Who do you want to walk with in your life journey? Do you want to walk with somebody who is not crossing your path? Perhaps it might be too early to think about for some people, especially our young ones. They might say, I don't know who I'm going to walk with. I still want some time to decide. But for many of you, perhaps you may have understood. Should I walk with a spiritual co-practitioner, Kalyana Mitra, or someone who I can relate myself to, or not? So here, charati means not the literal sense of walking from one place to the other place, walking in our life, maybe walking the life journey, on our life journey, and at the same time, spiritual journey. Now here, the stanza says, charang chi nadigacheya. That means adigacheya. Now, what does adi mean here? Adi. In Pali, let's put it this way. This is a prefix. Adi. And then here we understand gacchati part, right? Adi gacchati. This part we understand. Gacchati means go, right? Gacchati means go. If we put agacchati, what is it? Gacchati means go. Agacchati means?
Come. Bhante, come.
Come, right? Agacchati means come. You can say come back, right? So there are different prefixes, if you place the prefix, I always say that this is not a Pali class, but I just have to tell you some of the fundamentals, not complicating it, just to keep the interest. So when you put a plus gachati, come, and gachati, go. Gachati, go, agachati, come. So we see these Pali terms here and there in the suttas. Now here, adhigachati, A-D-H-I, gachati. What is adhigachati? This is a very interesting Pali verb. When you add A-D-H-I, not the psychological one, A-D-H-I plus gachati, adhigachati means a Pali verb that is prefixed adi means that you walk in a wholesome, in a proper way. Let's say ahang adhigachati mean ahang adhigachami mean that I walk in a very holistic, wholesome way. Right? So not many people can adhigachati. They gachati. They only go. Adhigachati mean your life journey. It relates to your life journey. Life journey has to go. You have to travel in that life journey in a holistic, wholesome way. So here it is said that nadhigachati. Don't go on that life journey with, let's see, what are the complementary areas here? Attano means to oneself. Seiyang or sadisa. Sadisa means equal, right? Equal. And seiyam means better, right? Seiya, sadisa. So that means if you really want to walk on your life journey in particular, or on your spiritual journey, do not walk with someone who is not equal to your Sila Samadhi Panya or higher than your, not higher than your Sila Samadhi. But try to be at least to be with someone who is equal in your Sila Samadhi Panya or higher than. So have you ever found out this Pali word sadisa, say, this, what do you call? We have terms like this. Hina, then sadisa, then say. Have you ever found out these Pali terms? Hina, say, hina, sadisa, say. Hina means low or lower. Sadisa means equal. Seya means higher. When the Buddha was talking about the conceit, mana, long A-N-A, mana, conceit, the Buddha used these three terms to identify different people's different conceits. What are the conceits that we see in our life? We are not excluded in this term. The first mana is hina mana. There are people who are always having inferiority complex. Always. They have even achieved their life, but they still say, no, I'm not like that. I'm still lower than you, you know. I don't have enough stuff. Even I don't have the basic stuff. Actually, they have. They don't want to value themselves. So Buddha said, this is not a good idea. You have to validate yourself because we have them. So if people are trying to walk away in not understanding what they have and putting them into a very low area in those discussions, unless you are in trouble, you don't want to say that you have this and that. You have to accept what you have. Otherwise, the Buddha understands that these people are having inferiority complex. Hina mana. This first one, right? Let's go back again. Hina mana. This is another context, but I add hina. Sadisa mana. Sadisa means equal. Have you ever seen people when they want to show off, when they want to brag, they are trying to equalize other people, you know, like you're in my class, you know, we studied together, you know, you might be better than me, but we all from the same board. But we shouldn't have made that statement at that point. But there are people who are trying to equate to other people, saying that, you are not anybody higher than me, maybe better than me, same. But actually, we are not same. We have tiny minor things that we can see. So at that point, rather than going in a what do you call equalizing mentality, we have to accept. So, but there are people who try to equate them to other people because they don't want to accept who they are. This is called sadisamana. First one, inferiority complex. Second one is what do you call this complex where people try to equate them to other people without a valid point. Third, in mana conceit is, we call it as Seyamana, superiority complex. Superiority complex. There was a Buddhist monk, German Buddhist monk, Analayu, Bhikkhu Analayu, wrote a book 3-4 years back, where I wrote a review, a Buddhist review about superiority complex among Buddhist traditions. Interesting. He's picking up Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana. What is wrong with them? Pinpointing areas. I mean, going back to early Buddhism is much better. Don't pick Buddhism from Theravada, Mahayana, Vajrayana, although you come from your schools. But always we have to go back to early Buddhism. And the certain superiority complexes that Theravada may have. We are much better than Mahayana. Mahayana would not like to say Theravada is better than us, and we are hitting enlightenment, the Buddhahood, and Vajrayana is taking understand. So according to the book, we understand superiority complexes, all these things. They want to be superlative. So this Seiya means always would like to bring oneself higher than other people. Have you met such people in your life? No, not yourself. You must have seen them. They wanted to say that, perhaps we might be higher than you. You are here, I'm here, trying to say the bar. It's putting that high bar on them. Anyways, these three are akusalas. What to do? So we have to understand who we are and appreciate other people. This is what the Buddha said, going beyond the mind. So now going back to our text again, the Buddha said here, these Pali words that are saying, lower than your Sila Samadhi Panya. People who have people who have Sila Samadhi Panya lower than you, they are called Hina. And people who have equal amount of Sila Samadhi Panya, they are called Sadisa people. People who have higher Sila Samadhi Panya, if anybody doesn't understand about Sila Samadhi Panya, ethics, and then concentration, and then Panya, wisdom. So the Buddha is asking us here to find out the people who at least have a similar amount of Sila Samadhi Panya. At least you can relate your Sila Samadhi Panya onto their spiritual life. This is what the Buddha says. But never go pick up the Hina people. But there are some paradoxes here. Let's discuss them. Because as people who are supposed to practice Brahma Vihara, what do you mean by Brahma Vihara? Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekkha. We cannot exclude sentient beings, right? We cannot say, you are not a good person for me to associate, so just walk away. I don't want to see you. We can't do that. We must have metta. But this is about close association, intimacy, association. We don't associate everybody in this society. So we have to give metta. If you are going through a problem, if you have less Sila Samadhi Panya, perhaps I will help you, but I will keep a distance here. And then I will help you. We can do that in our own ways. So, the Buddha here says that we cannot exclude anybody. We cannot say you are a bad person, so I don't want to keep in touch with you. Rather than saying like that, we spread metta, karuna, mudita, upekkha to everybody. in proper ways, but our close association should be with the people who have at least some similar amount of Sila Samadhi Panya. This is the idea over here. Can you remember? I think we can go back to this idea later. So let's finish the stanza first. And then what did the Buddha say? Eka chariyam dalham kaira natti bale sahayata. So natti bale sahayata. Bale means here unwise people. Let's say foolish or unwise people. Natti bale sahayata. You should never engage in any unwise relationship with anybody. So if you don't find out anybody who is equal to your Sila Samadhi Panya or who is higher than your Sila Samadhi Panya, then at that point, it is better to stay alone. Ekacharya, solitary, dalham kaira. Dalham means firmly, it's better to stay alone. So once again, it is always better to walk in your life with somebody who has equal Sila Samadhi Panya or higher Sila Samadhi Panya to you. And if you don't find out such a person at the moment, it's better to stay alone with your Dhamma practice rather than getting connected to a Bala, unwise person. All right, I think that is pretty clear at this point. Maybe when we explain more, then more insights will come out. Now, I have a question for you. Maybe you can think about. Is there any place in the suttas where Buddha has properly mentioned this equal Sila Samadhi Panya? Normally, we understand when we think about virtues, right? Sila, Samadhi, Panya, Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Upekka, Paramita, and whatever those good virtues, we are supposed to practice them. But have you ever found out a place where Buddha picked up them as equally, practiced them equally?
Bhante,
Is there a Pali word for
how
that?
about Nakula Pita and Nakula Mata?
Nakula Pita, Nakula Mata is the reference that I'm trying to tell you. In Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, that story, what we understand is that they were a couple, they were a Sotapanna couple. Interesting, not a normal couple, Sotapanna couple. People are going away from the relationships to become Sotapanna. But this couple is a Sotapanna couple, still continue to stay. I would like to show you, these example stories, so we better understand who could be a Sotapanna person and what could happen to a Sotapanna person in a relationship like Visakha, Migasala, and these examples. So in the story of Nakula Mata and Nakula Pita, they both wanted to continue their relationship for the next life. Right? This is what we understand in that sutta. So, so one day the Buddha went to their house. They were living in Susumaragiri. There are different translations. Sunsumara is the Pali term for crocodile. Somebody says that while the city was being constructed, one big crocodile made a cry. So they said Sunsumaragiri is the name of the city. Right? So Sunsumaragiri had a forest called Besakala. And then one day when the Buddha was staying there, he went to their house, Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita house. Now, according to the story, Nakula Mata and Nakula Pita were Buddha's mother and father, parents, for 500 lifetimes. So the Buddha didn't feel something strange to go see them. So every time he went to Susumaragiri, he used to go see them just to say hi and, because he knows that they were Buddha's, they were his mother and father. At the same time, he knows that they were Sotapanna. So one day when he went there, Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita both came to him and they said, Bhante, we been each other in a relationship in our marriage for almost 40 years. and I want to be reborn with my partner. This Nakula Pita says, I want to be reborn with Nakula Mata. And ever since I married to her, I had no single thought about another woman. So I want to be reborn with her in the next life. A pretty interesting story. And you might say, how come, tanha, craving, clinging. How come you're thinking like this? When you hear a Dhamma talk, always being taught, craving, get out of your relationship, get out of your house, renounce the worldly life. But here, Sotapanna people are asking the Buddha, is it possible for us to be reborn? The Buddha was listening to Nakula Pita now, and then Nakula Mata. She also said the same story, and she also said, ever since I became his wife, I had no even single thought about another woman, another man. And I've been keeping to my vows, and then I also want to be reborn with him in the next life. Then what did the Buddha say? The Buddha said, as long as you have been maintaining 4 qualities equally, this is going to be possible. What is this? Samasaddha, Samasila, Samachaga, Samapanya. Maybe I'm going to type it here for everybody. Samasila and Samasaddha and Samachaga and Samapanya. Now you might be wondering, Buddha is in the Dhammapada stanza, he's talking solitary life. And in this story, he's talking the value of a relationship, right? They are not contradictory. We will discuss them separately. So what is sama here? Equal trust, samasaddha. Samasila, equal discipline. Samachaga, equal generosity. Samapanya, equal wisdom. Now, can you think about what is equal trust between a couple? Do you think that all these couples are having equal trust, between each other? Or one is overly, what do you call, suspicious about the other person? Maybe one is overly concerned about the other person. How is the trust level? This is a problem in today's relationship, right? It's hard for 2 people to come to a certain level that they feel secure, because on the side they are promoting independence. So I do my way, you do your way. So the problem is that how to achieve this security? It's a problem. That's why the Buddha said, if the couple find this security in whatever the way, they feel safe, they feel secure, this is one quality that they can practice if they want to be reborn together. So Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, they are reflective about this equal trust. And Samasila, what is the equal discipline between a couple? Can you think about? They must take precepts. They must take 8 precepts. Would be good if they can do that. What is the discipline? What is the discipline with regard to a couple? Not cheating on each other, being loyal. That's it. And the rest of the things are bonus stuff. If you don't kill, if you don't steal, yes, definitely. So that means loyalty and not cheating is the most important thing. Of course, Kamesamichachara Viramani, that point. If someone is into Kamesamichachara Viramani, of course, the rest of the 4 will be done automatically. Sama Sila means equal discipline. That means, what do you call, not cheating on each other, loyalty. And then Samachaga, generosity, equal generosity. The both are generous in the same way. Both can discuss about generosity. Not one is very stingy, the other one is very generous, or both are stingy. Think about it. In relationships, someone wants to sacrifice, compromise, the other one might say, no, I don't want to do that way. So it's going to be a problem at that point in their relationship. So it can be time, it can be money, it can be many other things in today's world. So, samachar, equal generosity between a couple. And finally, samapanya. Samapanya means equal wisdom. Have you ever heard that we can equalize wisdom? It's very hard to equalize because everyone is differently wise. This is not about that wisdom, the lofty wisdom that the Buddha talks about at the end of the Noble Eightfold Path. This is basic wisdom in a married life or in a relationship. Basic wisdom is being able to listen to the other person, being able to understand what you are talking to me. There are some relationships where they both are not even listening to each other, right? So, so then more problems are piling up, behind the scene, right? But they look like they are a good couple, but more problems are piling up every day about everything in their life. So the Buddha says, you, Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita, you've been very much understanding each other. So then, I'm telling you that it is possible for both of you to be reborn in the next life. And I don't worry about you because you are Sotapannas. You won't be reborn for more than seven lifetimes. So go ahead. Such a very interesting way to look at it, right? So now my point here is that sama means that, then in this example, what does the Buddha say? If you want to go for a relationship, right? Think about to go for a relationship with someone, not for your loneliness, but for the wisdom. That is the important thing. A lot of people, they make mistakes just for the lonely. I'm so lonely. I want somebody. But in reality, in Buddhism, go with wisdom, not just for the loneliness. So that's why the Buddha said, if you want to look for a friend, another person, somebody for relationship, always find out whether they have Sila Samadhi Panya, or in this case, relationships, Saddha Sila, Chaga Panya, at least equally. That is what the Buddha. I think it's a very interesting area for our young generation at the same time, even for all of us, because we make friendships time to time, right? So then, I mean, how I'm going to maintain this friendship? So I have to always look at it. So this is one very important place to understand the idea. Okay, now this is about making friends and maintaining friendships. So what do you think is making a good friendship according to Buddhism very important in our life and in our spiritual life? What are your thoughts? It's very important. Why is it? You look for a lot of blessings in your life, right? You ask a lot of people to bless you. You send your names, and you ask more virtuous people to chant for you, maybe venerable monks, others, right? You need blessings. I think during the Vesak time, I think this is something that you were always looking for, right? Going to the Vihara and blessings. Even you do something, I think, may this be a blessing in my life. But yes, we truly understand we need all those blessings, especially the blessings of our mother, father. That's very interesting. If mother and father can bless us, truly, that really touches unconditional love, no expectations, and the Sangha members and elderly people and the others without anything. But what do you think about the true blessings in Buddhism? How are they being formed? There is a Pali Sutta for that. What is that Pali Sutta for the true blessings? Maha Mangala Sutta. This is such a very interesting sutta. Why? This is the sutta where Buddha talks about the true blessings. So now you can think about what is the first blessing that we can create in our life in order for our life to become very successful, very fulfilling, like we don't have to go to things like what do you call Abraham Maslow's hierarchical theory to understand from sociology. We understand self-actualization. I have basic needs, security needs. Can I self-actualize about my life? not get to the enlightenment, at least, am I really happy in my life? Maybe I have a lot of things around me, but truly, do I have my peace of mind? Or is the peace of mind something that I engage with something and it will go away from? So then we learn from the Buddha. What do we learn from the Buddha about the true blessing? Starting with Asevanacha balanang panditanang cha sevana. This is the first blessing. Asevanacha balanang panditanang cha sevana. Puja cha pujaniyanang etang mangalamuttamang. Okay, the true blessing starts with Asevanacha balanang. Balanang means these unwise people. I mean, this means in the stanza. And Asevanacha mean not associating, not being not in the company of unwise people. So now the problem is, who are the unwise people in this stanza, in this particular stanza? Those who have less sila, those who have lesser sila, lesser samadhi and panya. They have less sila, less samadhi, less panya compared to you. Can you find out other people's sila? Is it possible for you to find out your other people's sila? Maybe not the mind, not the thought. Sometimes they talk about things so you can understand their mind, their activities. So that is why here in the Mangala Sutta, Buddha says the first thing, the first blessing comes from not associating unwise people, still continue giving them metta. I think there is a question somebody asked here. Bhante, why does every Buddha to be needed the female companion like Siddhartha, Gautama and Yashodhara to support him from life to life? I think it's pretty clear that Prince Siddhartha could have not enlightened without the support of Prince Yashodhara, because the emotional support and that he had for at least 500 lifetime is what led him to attain, go to the process of awakening, even in the last life. So unfortunately, in our biographies of the Buddha, this has been explained in a different way. Like what I said earlier, if you want to be a Sotapanna, get out of your house and go and find your own enlightenment. This kind of idea has crept in because of not properly reading the Buddha's life. And then also the suttas. Maybe they read a couple of suttas and they want to make an idea about it. So definitely, the emotional support that Prince Siddhartha in his previous lives got from Yashodhara was very supportive, instrumental for him to practice paramita. So we understand in every story, Jataka stories, Yashodhara was with him, and that was really supportive for him to being a better person. From whatever the situation, the quality wise, he would like to aspire at that point. So it was kind of very much supportive for him to do that. So that is why we understand that it could have been very hard for Prince Siddhartha to continue his last life without Yashodhara's support. Okay, I think I'll be taking other questions later. Maybe one question I'll be asking. That's funny here. Can we say Yashodhara is one of the Buddhas? Not one of the Kalyana Mittas. I think she's the greatest Kalyana Mitta to him. Without her, things would have been very difficult for him to practice. Even the last life, he left her with a child, right? Think about as a mother, perhaps. And then the support that she done and her loyalty. I think we discussed about this fact on another discussion in the past. So that support as the greatest Kalyana Mitra to him was the very much important thing that helped him to practice and then attain the Buddhahood at the end. Okay, so in many suttas, we understand being able to find a Kalyana Mitra. Now, Kalyana Mitra, please understand, Kalyana Mitra here means someone who has equal Sila, equal Samadhi, equal Panya to you. Okay, or someone who has higher Sila, Samadhi, Panya to you. Okay, so then you have to look at it from a quality perspective, not from the quantity perspective. Okay, a lot of people look for Kalyana Mitras from a quantity perspective. How much things you are doing to the temple now? You must be a Kalyana Mitra. You're supposed to be, yes, but it does not necessarily mean that you are a Kalyana Mitra. If you want to be a Kalyana Mitra, with the support you are giving to these places, you must develop in your own Sila, in your own Samadhi, own Panya. If you are not doing that, if you are just supporting, that's not enough. I mean, to get to this particular wise interpretation here. So definitely, it's very important to have a wise person. You could call that person as a Kalyana Mitra in our own understanding, a spiritual co-practitioner. That's a good one. Noble friend, how to understand the nobility of my friends? How much Kalyana is my friend? But when I say a spiritual co-practitioner, you are also practicing like me, meditation, learning Dhamma, practicing Sila, practicing Samadhi and all that. So I feel that you are one of the spiritual co-practitioners. So now we understand it's very important. But now, just to understand this fact in more details, let's get to the story of this stanza. What is the story of the stanza? Maha Kassapa Saddhi Viharika. Who is Saddhi Viharika? Saddhi Viharika means? Saddhi means living with Viharika. That means, do you have Saddhi Viharikas in your house? People who are living with you in your house, your family members, Saddhi Viharikas. Saddhi Viharika. Viharika means living. Saddhi means with, right? Co-living, right? Co-living people. But who's co-living people? Mahakassapa. Who is Mahakassapa? Venerable Mahakassapa, such a very important figure in the Buddhist history. I would say the most important figure after the Buddha's passing away. Could you remember what led Venerable Arahant Mahakassapa to left the urban temples, especially the Buddha's temple? There was a small problem. It is said that both look alike. I mean, both take after. I mean, for an ordinary devotee, it is very difficult to differentiate the Buddha and Arahant Mahakassapa. Why? They both look similar in their face, in their body. So one day what happened, I think I shared this many times, I just want to tell you again. The Buddha went on Pindapata on a certain street where one lady, very devout lady, was offering dana to Arahant Mahakassapa. So every day she was expecting Arahant Mahakassapa. But that day, the Buddha went on Pindapata on that particular street, and she, it's not nice to say she misunderstood, but yes, she misunderstood, she did. And she thought, she always saying, my son is coming, I have to offer Pindapata to him. And then she scooped all the rice and whatever the food at that point, and she put all that into Buddha's alms bowl. So that means the Buddha has no particular characteristics to understand. For a normal person. Now, when you go to the Vihara, you understand, this is the Buddha, a lot of auras, a lot of lights, a lot of devas around him. This must be the Buddha, right? But in reality, according to the text, Buddha is not that kind of a visible person. He's like a normal person. Now you think about how far these sculptures have gone. So think about Gandhara, Mathura styles, sculpturing Buddha statues. Anyways, so she didn't understand. She thought this is Arahan Mahakash. So she left all the food onto the alms bowl. After a while, she noticed the very much familiar monk is coming. And she understood, okay, I think I made a mistake. So I have to be, I haven't cooked any other food. So only the food that I gave to this. So she ran and said to the Buddha, hello, Venerable, I think I made a mistake. So think about asking the Buddha to give back the meal, the first time in the history. I don't have any other food. Is it possible for me to take the food that I offered to you? The Buddha said nothing, and he stretched out the alms bowl, and she took all the food. And then gave to Venerable Arahant Mahakasha. So Arahant Mahakashyapa saw that what she did, and he was very embarrassed with the incident. And then the same day he determined, I would leave to the forest. I'm not coming back until the Buddha passed away. Very interesting story. So the same day he left from city onto the forest, and he started wearing all these very difficult robes, and he was getting used to a forest life. And then he determined at the same time, if the lotus are going to be faded, that is a sign that the Buddha passed away. So I should go back to wherever that happens. This happens, remember, everybody was ready to cremate the Buddha's great body. So a lot of kings were going to light and set the fire, but nobody could do that. Everybody was very concerned. Why is it not happening? Because we want to cremate the Buddha's body. No, until Venerable Arahant Mahakashyapa comes here, we cannot do that. So he would be the person who is taking over the Buddha's sasana. So when he came back, that was how the Buddha's funeral was possible cremating in Kusinara. So the idea here is that we understand that Arahant Mahakashyapa played a bigger role after that. What happened after Buddha passed away? After 3 months, he is the one who spearheaded the first convocation, Dharma Sangaya. Why did they have to do the Sangayana? He overheard some monks were saying different things. There are different monks every time. There was a monk called Subhadda, Subhadda. The monk Subhadda told, now the Buddha passed away, let's do whatever we want. We were thoroughly monitored by all these things. So then he understood not to impose more Vinaya rules or whatever. We have to strengthen what we heard from the Buddha. So he is the one, with the support of King Ajatasattu, spearheaded the first convocation, I would say, council, Dharma Sangaya. Now, the story is about something which happened before he went to the forest. He was living in the city of Rajagaha at that time, not in the Savanthi. What happened? Venerable Arahant Mahakashyapa stayed with 2 monks, his disciples, 2 young monks. And one is very supportive, the other one was very lazy. And what happened? The one who is very supportive, boiling the water and doing everything. But once he boiled the water, he goes back to his activities. The other one, lazy one, is impersonating, going to the Venerable Arahant Mahakashyapa, Bhante, water is ready for you to take a shower. Please go in, take the water. Taking the credit for things that he had not done. This happens in our life too, right? Let's talk about it. Taking the credit that deserves to go to other people. This is a very bad karma, even in temple setups. So then one day, Arahant Mahakashyapa understood about this person, this other monk. And then he asked him to come. He said, don't do this. This is a bad karma because you are creating bad karma. So if you want to do it, you go and do it. Don't try to take credit for what other people have done, things that other people have done. So he even got a little mad about it. And then what happened? He and his disciple went for Pindapata. The same day, he went for a devotee's house, a very close devotee to the Venerable Arahant Mahakashyapa. And he told them, Arahant Mahakashyapa is sick now. So he needs food. He needs something. So then what happened? They didn't know at that time there were no telephones or internet, right? So they gave him certain things that he said to the family about Arahant Mahakashyapa things. And he came back. And then he had all that. So on the following day, when Arahant Mahakashyapa wanted to send a rope to that house to sew the rope, he learned that his other monk went to that house and then did something like this. So then, at that point, Arahant Mahakashyapa advised him. I heard about this story too. This is also not a good thing because lying to the devotees who are very much faithful, trustworthy for a monk, especially Arahants. Please don't do that. At that point, he was very resentful. And on the following day, what he did was that he set fire to the whole temple. He left. So this story was alerted to the Buddha. And then the Buddha told, think about, even Arahant Mahakashyapa could not understand who should ordain, who should not ordain, because this particular monk was not a Sappurisa. This particular monk was not a Pandita. But he ordained. Now what happened? He even set fire to the whole temple. Think about the monks in today's world. They are much better than this monk, right? Nobody is setting fire to the temple. And then he left. So the idea is that it is always better to understand who we're going to associate. Especially in this case, for Arahant Mahakashyapa, next time don't ordain someone without understanding their background, their emotions. Nowadays, it is a very big thing, right? That's why the Buddha said, when you ordain someone, you have to ask certain things. Don't just ordain just because they ask you, I want to become a monk or not. There are so many questions. There are some questions that a senior Sangha member has to ask. What are those questions? Are you a Deva? Are you a Yakha? Are you a Naga? Because this is for stopping spirits, non-human beings entering the Buddha Sasana, which can be a problem. And also, senior Sangha members must ask from the lay person who's going to become a monk, do you have a loan to the government? I mean, this is something very interesting. Nobody's asking. Nobody's doing a credit check about somebody who's going to be a monk. At that time, there were many people who had borrowed money from the government agencies and went to local viharas and became monks. So government could not prosecute these people. So it was a problem to the temples. The Buddha said, never ordain anybody who have borrowed money and never repaid them. So that means a credit check. I mean, interesting. And also there were people who were criminals when the government officials were trying to prosecute them. They immediately went to a temple and they asked, I want to become a monk. So because of the interest, senior Sangha members ordained. And then what happened? At that time, when someone became a monk, especially in Savatthi and Rajagaha, those monks had criminal immunity in a way. So the Buddha said, next time you have to ask, have you done a crime? So if so, we are not able to. So in this way, now what we understand is that with Arahant Mahakashyapa's this particular disruptive monk's attitude and what he did, what we need to understand with regard to him is that next time when you ordain someone, when you bring to the temple, you should be aware about the consequences and how will things be unrolled. And let's take it to our life, especially your ordinary life as a layperson. The first connection that you are making in your life, your friends and your people who you're going to dine with, your coffee friends, tea friends, other friends that you are associating. Do you time to time review what's going on with them, right? Are they really good people for me to associate? So I mean, it's a very good place to understand. That's why the Buddha said it's always better to look at Sila Samadhi Panya context over quantity. That's very important. But if you find out someone is not having enough Sila Samadhi Panya, still give some metta to them, give some karuna to them. Do that practice. You cannot say no to metta, no to karuna in terms of those people. Okay, so that's the story that we learned from this stanza. But we will talk a little bit about this idea, because still we have to discuss living alone. Why is it important to living alone? I mean, what are the consequences of living alone? And what are the other connected ideas with regard to this? Now, the main idea in the stanza is better alone in bad company. Okay, if I don't have friends at this point, I don't want to get in touch with bad people who have less sila, less samadhi, less panya, especially with regard to intimacy, close relationships. And we also have to understand to choose companions with wisdom, not loneliness. We may feel that I'm lonely, I'm alone, I need people's support, yes. But if you want to think about these aspects, always bring wisdom, right? Wisdom is very important. Because sometimes what is happening is that just because you want to spend the time, you will bring people, but then you don't know where you are heading to, and there may be more problems that will come to you because of that, that kind of a thought. So that is also very important. At the same time, walking alone with purpose is more honorable than walking with many without direction, right? Walking alone with purpose is more honorable than walking with many without direction. I think in our life, we need to have a direction, proper direction. That's why we need Kalyana Mitras, spiritual co-practitioners. I'm not saying we have to find out someone who is always saying, I want to attain Nibbana, Nibbana, Nibbana. Okay, I'm also in the same boat. Let's talk each other, you know. I'm not saying that kind of a thing only. Yes, you know, in reality, yes. But can I associate this person to better my life, at least to learn my mistakes in my life? Because before you attain Nibbana, you have to be a better person, right? You have to be a good person first. At least you must have 5 precepts. And you have to walk away from 10 akusala. You have to work on your 10 kusala. So that's very important to think about. So on the other hand, we understand our time management, right? Now, we don't have lots of time in a day, right? The time is going very fast compared to 20, 30 years back, because a lot of things are here, right? So are we spending our time wisely? Then if I want to spend time wisely, I need wise people around me, right? How otherwise is this going to be a reality? We are always talking, I want wisdom, I want to be wise, but all the people around me, what if they happen to be gossipers? They are talking things that are really not working, they are really not happening in our life. They are even spoiling their time and my time, right? So I need wise people to spend my time wisely. So that's why time management wise, this is a very important thing. Think about, look back the day, almost 7:10. In 3 to 2 hours from now, if you're going to sleep, think about, how did I spend my day today? Have I spent my day meaningful, right? Was it a meaningful day for me? Meaningful day is not, we are not taking from money. How much could I make it today? We are not taking that way. We are looking at in terms of a quality day, meaningful day. Have I been able to make myself a better person in terms of my speech? Did I gossip less today? Did I hurt people less today? Have I been able to be nice to everybody, including to myself, since the morning? Or did I turn off everybody's emotions from today morning in my house? A lot of people, they start the day by turning off everybody. So what's happening in my day? And have I been able to have some kusala thoughts? Metta, karuna, mudita, upekka thoughts since morning. How about my actions? Were my actions hurtful to other people? I think looking at those aspects will make me a better person. I want to make my life, especially my day, a meaningful day, so I'm not wasting my days, right? And a solitary life rooted in wisdom is far superior to a busy life surrounded by thoughts. That's interesting too. A solitary life rooted in wisdom is far superior to a busy life surrounded by ignorance. Sometimes we want to be busy, yes, busy with the right people, right things. So finally, what is more important here is that we don't have to trade our inner peace for empty company. We have to always look for, these kusala people. We are not trying to drop others, but in terms of our intimacy, our company, let's find out these people who at least have some equal level of Sila Samadhi Panya and more. All right, now let's go to the solitary life side. That is also something we have to discuss. Now, Buddhism always asks you to find out a spiritual co-practitioner, Kalyana Mitta, or Pandita, or Sappurisa. Now, the problem is, this is not very easy for some people. Not because that they don't want to, but because their nature, their family, their house, their existing relationships. So how to make this happen? So how to find out Kalyana Mittas? We have to engage in certain activities. We have to find out them in terms of Sila Samadhi Panya qualities. I mean, if we can find out someone has more Sila, someone is more into the Sila practice, Samadhi practice, Panya practice, then of course we can relate to them. Then what about a solitary life? Is solitary life always good? It's not a good idea in the first place. Think about, you become an introvert, closing your doors, you stay in the house and you feel very depressed, right? You don't talk to other people. So Buddhism does not encourage solitary life in the first place. But if you cannot find these people, then what to do? You just wait. Just wait until you create the connections to the right person, right? There is a sutta in the Sutta Nipata called Kagga Visana Sutta. Right, what do you call rhino's horn? Rhino says this rhino's horn, and some people say this is unicorn. Unicorn, only one horn is going everywhere. And the thing is that the rhino or unicorn, according to the information, doesn't like to go to the crowd. You know, there are many animals who like the crowd, right? They want to be a part of the crowd. But this rhino or unicorn does not like to be in a crowd, but busy, because the person is very strong. This animal is very strong. So sometimes in our life, perhaps we may need to resort to a solitary life. Sometimes, not always. And I encourage you, at the end of the day, you should take a private time, at least few minutes, about yourself. At the end of every day. Have I been engaging in kusala thoughts, kusala words, kusala actions? Or have I been engaging in akusala words, akusala speech, akusala actions, akusala thoughts? So I need my private time to think about it. This is why the Buddha said, sunyagara, right? Aranye rukka muleva sunyagara. So we need a private time. That private time is very important, but not always. We need to be surrounded with other people. Think about, you are meditating in your house, but time to time you join a meditation retreat. How is the vibe of that? What kind of a vibe will you be having at that point? You feel good, huh? Well, everybody meditates. I think I have a problem. I have an attention deficiency. But how come these people can meditate like this? Something wrong with me. I learn from you guys. So that gives me a motivation. So time to time, we need to engage in group activities. Now think about your practice during the Vesak time. You've been lighting candles, doing a puja, chanting in your house. During Vesak time, you went to a vihara, you became a part of that massive crowd, right? Perhaps you were part of the Vesak float, temple activities. That's a good feeling too, right? That gives you a different feeling in deepening your Dhamma practice. So time to time, go and engage. It's good. They might be ritualistic things on the surface level, I know. But although they are ritualistic things, we need that, what do you call that mentality, that group mentality, Kalyana Mitra's mentality. But not all the time, right? They are not happening all the time. So that's why solitary life is necessary time to time, not all the time, right? So that is also very important. On the other hand, if you look at the Arahan Mahakassapa story, we understand a couple other things, especially the monk in that example, that story, who set fire to the temple, who was not really willing to receive advices, guidance from the teacher. I think this is a very big mistake in our life. If we are not opening up for the right individuals in our life, if we become very stubborn in our Dhamma practice, if we become very stubborn in our lay life, your lay life, I think we will miss out on very important pieces with regard to Dhamma. So never ever become stubborn in your practice and also in your life. You may not like other people, I know, but you don't have to become angry. You don't have to say your words right away. You have to accept that different people give their different opinions, but I am going to filter out what is good for me, what is not good for me in a kusala way. So if that particular monk had listened to Arahan Mahakassapa, he would have not become as such. The story says he was reborn in a hell, Avichi hell, the very worst hell, because he set fire to the Arahan Mahakassapa's temple. So I think if he had listened to him just for a minute, not for the 1 hour, just for a minute, he would have not gone to that level. Sometimes when we go to prisons long time ago, correctional centers, the perpetrators want to talk to us. Most of them are saying something interesting. What is it? If I had tolerated 1 more minute, I would have not been in the prison. Very interesting. I killed somebody, I stole someone's stuff, I did this and that. If I spend perhaps half a minute during that time, I would have not been a criminal. I would have changed, transformed my life. What does it mean? Listen to other people, to the right person. The whole life will get changed to the right person. So the story clearly says about that particular thing. I think at the moment, I have covered most of the areas. I would like to have some questions from you and then I will finalize. Okay, anyone has any questions? Yes, Padma? Let's go ahead.
Bhante?
Yes, please.
Because I think we live in a multicultural society and we meet a lot of people. Sometimes we are not able to choose our friend in a certain manner. So my take is, if we know that person is unwise in that sense, do not be influenced by their character, by their demeanor. We have to be wise in that way. But sometimes we are not able not to have such people in our life.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface level, we may not find Kalyana Mitras. They are not easily visible. You have to think about that too. They are like gems, there are a lot of stones and pebbles in the world, not gems. So we have to find them out. How to find them out? We have to know them. That's why you are listening to Dhamma. That's why you are coming to these classes. Why? You want to know. All these other people, they are also practicing in their own way, right? So it's not easy for finding such people. And at the same time, don't believe someone in a day or two. The Buddha told King Kosala, Sangvasenako Bhikkave Sila. Sila. That means if you want to understand someone's Sila, you cannot understand just in a day. You have to know their actions, their thoughts, their speeches. But anyways, we all are very blessed because we have one Kalyana Mitra, the Buddha. Due to his teachings, we are like this. But the next thing is then how to make them a reality, how to make these teachings a reality. So we need some support, Sangha support, our own support, good environment, right? The proper Dhamma, true Dhamma, right? So then we have to find them out. We have to make them a reality. So we don't have to blame anybody. Everyone is different. We have to find them out in our own way. That will be the way how things can work.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. Second question is, I think having a past strong, I think having a past strong karmic link is a condition required to have intimate, close relationship with wise Pandita masters. Otherwise, it is just a causal arm's length association. What if we do not have such karmic link? Any comments, Bhante? Well, it's hard to say, and I want to tell you that most of us are blessed to have good people. We cannot deny that. We have, at least one or two we have. Compared to some, I mean, when we look at other people's relations, you might see that, oh, such a very good couple, they're very loving each other, never ever talk bad about each other, very supportive, less arguments, less drama. They are really down to earth people. But we never know what's happening in their life. But anyways, we hope the reality is also the same. Yes, you are right. Now, according to Prince Siddhartha's and Prince Yashodhara's story, they have been each other together for 500 lifetimes. Now, and then with regard to what do you call Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita story, they were also together for 500 lifetimes. So, yes, I mean, if you think you are happy with your partner at this point in your life at the moment, definitely this did not happen random. Not that you chose that person, not that that person chose you. There must have a certain causal Paticcasamuppada based link going dating back to your past life. Think about the other side. Some people say enemies. I mean, say for instance, people who don't like us. They also coming from that kind of a causal link, like Devadatta, some other people. Remember in a story, Kali Akini's story, I think we discussed that. There was someone who is going to die by saying, next life, I'm going to be reborn in your womb as a child to you. You cannot do anything to me. I'm going to take revenge for everything I do. Think about this vengeance, I mean, revenge perspective, right? So it's the same way how good people exist from one life to the other life. Now, before I go to the other questions, now there might be a question here, I mean, if you think about it, the sansaric relationship, what made two people to go together to the next life? The Buddha's life, yes, his wife, I mean, Prince Siddhartha's wife, Yashodhara, and they were together for 500 lifetimes. Now, what do we understand about the love here? Is love a form of craving? This is what we understand. I mean, we understand that, yes, if you listen to a lot of bunch of teachings and books, a lot of books are saying, yes, actually, what we understand is that craving is not rooted in love, but in the idea of love. This is what we understand. Because Buddha always say that you have to love me, pema mattang, sineha mattang. So it's not about the problem with the love, but it's in the idea of love, the way how we interpret it, right? So that means that affection, how far you want to go with this affection. You want to manipulate people. You want to look for other person's happiness, right? Without perhaps this kind of a relationship is a good place for you to practice Dhamma. Why? Your Kalyana Mitta is your husband, your wife. How easy is that life, if it's possible? On the other hand, you've been practicing together, like Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita. Let's say if you don't have that kind of life, don't worry. It doesn't mean singles won't hit the Nibbana. I mean, they do.
Bhante,
Right.
my,
They do.
my
Yes.
question was with regards to masters and teachers, not so much individual relationships.
Masters and teachers.
Teachers, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Same.
mean, I'm grateful I have some, but I'm just saying in general. Because I think that besides walking with, I think maybe Buddha is he mentioning this with regards to normal relationship, means you choose companions as in a relationship companion, or is it more like a companion who is your teacher, master, or fellow students who walk the path with you? I know what you're saying, Bhante.
This is everything. This is for every relationship. He does not specify, because in the Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita Sutta, it's for the couples relationships. Here it's a generic. It's a I would say it's a blanket saying. The blanket saying here means that this is for everybody. Relationships, Dhamma life. It is for everything. So now when you ask, you were referring to masters and that, because masters and all these good people come from normal people. They were not masters in those lives. They were normal people, right? Prince Siddhartha was a normal person, man. And Yashodhara was a normal lady. But finally what happens, that normalcy transcends into this supramandian level. Okay, Suzanne, you have a question? Please go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear.
Thank you. And my question was about couples being reborn together. How does that happen if you pass away at different times?
It doesn't matter. You will meet.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
It doesn't mean that we have to die together. I mean, there are people, let's die together. I mean, that's a bad idea, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
you live longer the way you want. I mean, according to your karma. But this means one day we will meet.
Okay.
We will meet. Because Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita didn't die together. Now the idea, okay, we have to understand, not to get confused with the Christian soulmate idea. Now, this idea is that we will meet somewhere in the next life, not at the same time. Maybe we will meet then we will cross our path. This can happen.
Okay.
But be careful. Now, in the Nakula Mata, Nakula Pita story, Buddha kind of allowed this because he knew that they are Sotapannas. And I don't think that he is normally encouraging that idea in the society. But if the society is a worldly society, in order for us to see that relationships are going very well, we can encourage this idea, especially our young ones, because relationship is not something you are looking for selfishly from somebody. You have to sacrifice, you're going to compromise. Why? The Buddha is talking about something like a straight line in a way that is going to the next life. Yeah. So we don't have to be reborn together or die together, but we will meet. Yeah. Yes. Then what about those people in many countries? They die together by taking life. That's not a good idea. That's panatipata. They go to buildings and die together because somebody else in the family doesn't endorse that relationship. So much hatred. So that's not this idea. I mean, yeah. All right. Other questions? We can take maybe one or two questions if you have short questions.
Bhante, can you
Yes.
hear me?
Yes.
Can you please repeat a solitary life rooted in is better than? I couldn't get that.
Solitary life? You mean what I said earlier?
Yeah,
Right?
yes, what Bhante said earlier. A solitary life rooted in?
Solitary life rooted in wisdom.
Okay.
Yeah. Solitary life rooted in wisdom.
Is better than?
Better than, okay, far superior to a busy life surrounded by ignorance.
By who? By surrounded by?
A solitary life
Yes.
rooted in wisdom is far superior to a busy life surrounded by ignorance.
Ignorance. I see. Thank you.
All right. Any other questions about today?
Bhante,
Yes. Yes.
Bhante, just now Bhante said about Angulimala. Bhante said about Mahakassapa being not able to discern that his pupil is not one that should be ordained. The Buddha said.
Yeah, this is
Only the Buddha knows about this because the Buddha ordained Angulimala, who is a criminal.
Buddha did not ordain Angulimala
Uh-huh.
until he came to that point that he is going to be tamed, disciplined. He did not.
Oh.
Because he himself understood his mistakes, he confessed, and then only he ordained. Yeah. But what about, I think you should have talked about Devadatta, not Angulimala. Why Devadatta is in the what do you call Buddhist order? That was a different thing. Devadatta was a good monk before, right? Later on, he was thinking that he can do certain things, and that's how he became a different person. So I mean, what Buddha wanted to tell Arahant Mahakassapa was that yes, it's a human mistake, but look at what happened at the end. The ripple effect is that this happened due to the ignorance of this particular person. Yes, let's take only one more question. Yes, Sumita?
Yeah, Bhante, I also have been reading that because Buddha has the good mind to identify who has the potential to attain enlightenment, and after scanning, he will go and help the person, especially in the morning where he meditates, then he will see through his eyes who is the potential, has the potential to attain enlightenment. So he will go there to help the person. Thank you.
Yeah, he had seen that too. But sometimes there were people who wanted to become monks at that point, so he ordained. Now, think about, Devadatta. Also, the sixth group, very rebellious monks, there were 6 monks who were doing everything that is not what the Buddha says. So there was certain, it's very hard to create a certain idea, but he also had the idea, I mean, when he was supporting other new people, if the person has some potential to attain it. All right, I think at this point, let's wrap this up. Today we've been learning about the importance of going for people in our life for association, close association. I mean, provided that they have equal or higher Sila Samadhi Panya. But at the same time, I want to highlight, we cannot exclude everybody. We have to respect everyone because nobody is should be dropped. We have to bring them Metta Karuna Mudita Upekkha. Even we are having a distance from them, not creating any malice, any anger. All right. So with all these good understanding, we are now going to transfer all the good karmas to the departed ones and neighbors, Kandas and Mahitikas. May all the departed ones receive good karmas. May they be able to be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idam me nyathinam hotu sukhita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyathinam hotu sukhita huntu nyatayo. Idam me nyathinam hotu Sukhita Huntu Nyapayo. May Deva Naga Mahitika receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, and safety. May Deva Naga Mahitika finally attain supreme bliss of Nepal. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Itavata cha amhehi samvatang punya sampadang sabbi deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata hehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Now the protection part. May the Devanaga Mahitika protect and bless the Buddha Sasana, Buddha's teachings and Buddhist order and all the beings. Akasatta Chibhumatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumuditva Chirang Rakhang Tusasanang. Akasatta Chibhumatta Devanaga Mahindika Punyantang Anumuditva Chirang Rakhang Tulisanang. Akasatta Chibhumatta Devanaga Mahitika Punyantang Anumuditva Chirang Rakhang Tumang Parang Chirang Rakhang Tutwang Sadati. Our Dhamma wish is to be surrounded with Kalyana Mitra. This is the very thing we've been discussing today. May we be able to be continuously surrounded with Kalyana Mitras. At the same time, may we become Kalyana Mitras to as many people as we can in our samsaric journey till we attain Nibbana. With this noble wish, we're going to make our Dhamma wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavanimbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we be making today in all these ways by learning about the importance of continuous being surrounded with Kalyana Mitras. And may all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Abhivadana silis nichang vadha pacha inu chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvano sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti me vacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samicchatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With those blessings, wishing you a pleasant good night until we see again next Thursday.
Good night.
Sarana
Good night, Bhante.
Thank you.
Bhante.
Good night, everybody.
Thank Bhante. Good night, Bhante.
Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everyone. See you all next
Thank
week.
you.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you. Sadhu,
Thank
sadhu.
you, Bhante. Sadhu, sadhu,
Yes.
sadhu.
Sadhu.
Good night and take care, everybody.
Good night,
Yes.
everyone.
Good night.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bhante.
bye.
Thank you.